In the cold room of the police station, Melissa started to believe they understood her. The detective's words opened an escape. This was just an accident, not an intentional crime.
Let's when we go back to was it Wednesday when this all happened? Generally, what I like to, now you have a couple of days to relax, and, kind of think things maybe are a little clearer what happened that day. We find out sometimes that after a day or two of people just getting themselves figured, that's a pretty traumatic experience. They tend to start remembering a little more back, a little more detail of what occurred. And the way I usually like to do this is I like to start out from the beginning of that day. Let's see, you got up.
Yeah.
You got yourself ready for work. About what time was that?
I left at like 6:50.
So this is Wednesday morning, around 6:50. And you drive yourself into work.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Just go through your day.
I didn't get there till like 8:20, and then I clocked in. And
who was there when you got there?
Wendy, she's the head teacher.
Okay.
And a few other staff, one with my sister, Crystal.
Who were the other staff?
I believe it was, her name was, the other one, I think it was Wendy with a W.
A classic psychological tactic. One gentle, one tough. The contrast shook Melissa, pulling her into a game of trust and doubt with no way out.
Baby goes to sleep because it's a lot easier to control him. So why wouldn't you guys just let him keep on sleeping in his chair?
Because it was just getting towards the end of the day, and
can you sleep there to the end of the day? I mean, wouldn't you
had to transfer the kids. That was the reason.
Transfer them to what?
Like, put them in a different classroom. When we went down.
Was he in this classroom the whole day, Ben?
The classroom I was in?
Yeah.
I thought you made a comment earlier that the reason you try to keep him awake was because the parents were concerned that
Yeah, that too. If he did fall asleep though, we would let him, but he can't sleep up until 5. After 5, he had to be awake because the mom would pick him up.
But this was at like 3:45, right?
It was like 4 o'clock, yeah.
So why wouldn't you just let him sleep till 5?
Because we were getting ready to start doing diapers too, and then we had to bring over the kids because they told us as soon, as you lose another kid, they tapped on the window. They're like, as soon as you lose another kid, blah 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 or whatever, you can start bringing them over. So we're like, okay, but we're gonna do diapers first. So we waited a little bit and we were playing because usually he sometimes falls asleep, but he really doesn't. He'll like close his eyes and like open them and just sit there and relax. So that's why I've been keeping him awake.
When you went up to him, was there anything coming out of his mouth?
No.
So you just went up to him and said, Ben, and he didn't respond.
No.
And you said you shook his arm. Yeah. How did you know that he wasn't just sleeping real sound?
Because he would have woken up.
Why? Were you shouting his name?
No, he would have heard me because at other times when he would fall asleep on the chair.
The detectives repeated their questions over and over. Each detail pressed like a hammer strike, forcing Melissa to waver, desperate for a way to cling to an explanation.
He would wake up.
She said his name?
Yeah, or I'll be like, Ben, and his eyes will open. They really would. And then after that, give like a few seconds, he'd probably try and fall asleep again. But that was why I did the call. I'm still trying to even think how he even got the fracture. I'm still clueless.
Right.
I wish I could tell you. I have no idea.
That's the same question we're trying to get answered.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Did you look up anything on like your computer at home about injuries?
No, I didn't.
Or if we
I didn't know anything.
Your records,
yeah.
Would we be able to find out? Would we see anything about you researching anything about his death?
Yeah,
anything in the last couple of days?
Yeah. What?
And we're not going to find out from your boyfriend that, you know, you told him that you made a mistake and you accidentally dropped Ben.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to find that out?
No.
Because if that's the case,
Yeah, no.
you got to tell us. Well,
Yeah, I know.
we're not out to hurt you.
I know.
We don't want to hurt you, honestly.
Melissa, what if Nancy accuses you of doing this? Then what?
With just a few sharp questions, they planted the seed of doubt. Melissa began to wonder, was she overlooking something, or had she truly caused a tragedy she couldn't bear to admit?
I'm going to be questionable. I'm going to be like, why? What did I do? You know, I've been trained really well to actually do this. And I understand she's been there, but I've been trained really well. They handle even little infants younger than he does myself.
No, I'm just saying, what if she facilitates, you know,
And says that I did.
yeah, so, hey, this is what I saw.
I'm going to be like, well, why? Like, how? What did I actually do? You know, what is
So there's no doubt in your mind that if she makes an accusation that she's not going to have anything to back that up with. No doubt in your mind that if Nancy, or she's being questioned right now, says, look, I'm going to come up front with you guys. Melissa, you know, she made a mistake. I saw it. I didn't know what to do. This is completely out of character for me. I should have said something, but it's her responsibility. She was in there the whole time with them. Yeah, this is what she did. And where are we at?
I would have been like, I would tell you. I would straight up tell you that I did make a mistake. And I was too afraid to say something. You know, I didn't know it would actually hurt him. And I would have came clean and even said to Miss Beth and Miss Sandy, here's what happened. And that this is what, you know, like his head hit the floor or wherever his head got hit. And I would have said, I am completely so sorry. I didn't mean to do this at all. That's what I would have said. And I would have came clean. I wouldn't hide nothing from no one. If I knew I was doing something wrong or if I did something wrong, I would go up and I would talk to them because it would make me feel better.
Yeah, it's not necessarily that you did something wrong. I mean, there's sometimes accidents happen. I mean, they're unavoidable.
They didn't need Melissa to confess cruelty. Just one slip, one accident. This soft framing lowered her guard, trapping her in a haze of guilt.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all been in car accidents. Sometimes stuff's just unavoidable. So if that's the case, it's not like you did something wrong, but we need to get to the bottom of this. I'm sure you understand, because if you had a child, you'd want us to be doing the same thing.
I would be questionable and trying to figure out what's going on.
Right, and you'd want to know if you said, you know, you left your child in a daycare system and somebody ran into an accident and that led to your son, you know, maybe he had some kind of special skull or maybe he had previous injuries. I don't know. He was sick a couple of days prior, but maybe this little accident is what caused it. It would just give them some closure and it would help us clear this case out.
We're not saying we don't know if there was a pre-existing condition and something, Sean's point is something may have aggravated it. You know, there were strange physical anomalies, you know, things with people that sometimes you don't know. I mean, there's a thing out there where certain adults have skulls that are like eggshells.
Okay.
And you go around their whole life without ever having a head trauma or a head injury. And then one sudden, you know, hit or fall or hit to the head, and suddenly they're dead.
When the detectives mentioned a possible hidden condition, Melissa thought she'd found a lifeline, but it was only a tactic, steering her closer to admitting responsibility.
You know, there could be a pre-existing condition with him. The reason we're asking you about any other injuries that you may have noticed is that this is something that may have started and then been amplified. Okay. It's sort of like aggravating an old injury. And that may also give off the appearance of intensity.
Yeah. And like you said that too, with the injury, he has had bumps on his head. But that wasn't from us. Mom even said, I seen them. Billy seen them.
Was it ever documented?
No, because he would do them at home. Like, he would do it with Mom around.
Who else seen it?
Me, Wendy.
The mom would tell you he is.
Yeah, she even told the doctors at the hospital that, you know, with these bumps on his head, it's
How do you know
hitting
that?
his head. I was told. And,
By who?
by the director. Benson and everybody, we were all talking. And Billy even asked me, they're like, have you noticed about the bump on the head? And I'm like, no, I haven't.
When was this?
This was at the hospital when they were all at the hospital with
Yeah.
Bess.
Wednesday or?
Yeah, Wednesday. And they asked me, they're like, have you noticed about the big bump on his head? I'm like, no, I haven't. You know, I didn't recognize it. But I have noticed, though.
Did he have any bruises on his face?
No, none.
Long that time?
None. Absolutely none.
They anchored Melissa's mind to the accident narrative. Once her thoughts were locked there, it became harder to fight back, harder to find any claim of innocence.
You would have noticed?
I would notice if he did. He has really light skin.
So who was involved in this discussion at the hospital?
Well, Beth went there because they wouldn't let her ride in the ambulance. So she had to take her own vehicle, and this is what she found out. And Billy even was there.
Who?
Billy, he even said that they saw
Who's
bumps.
Billy?
That's her husband.
Okay.
He even said that he saw a big bump on his head. And they have asked me, and I was like, I have not seen it at all. I didn't even recognize it. Every time he would throw his tantrum fits, it would be on the ground, like the carpet, not on the tile.
You would have noticed if he threw one that day, right?
Yeah,
And he did it, you said.
no.
Reason and instinct collided. Melissa knew she had never seen clear signs, yet the relentless pressure made her words falter as if she no longer believed herself.
Because the way we're figuring is like thinking maybe an accident, but it would be an accident that someone would know about. They would have to literally, and I don't even think they could do this, drop him, hit his head against something while they're walking through a door frame, or literally grab him and hit him up against the wall, or hit him on the top of the head with something.
Yeah. I haven't seen anything. I give you my word on that one. I haven't. I have not seen him hit anything. I have not seen anybody pick him up, literally, and hit him against the wall or anything. If I would have, I report it right away.
Did you ever report Nancy's behavior when you said she's rough with the kids and throws them into the crib?
No, she doesn't throw them into the crib. She places them on the cots. She wouldn't throw them.
But you said, you know, sometimes she gets aggravated.
Sometimes she gets, yeah, she
You said
gets
she
frustrated.
handles them roughly.
Not rough, roughly, but sometimes you could see the frustration in her face.
But you said sometimes, like, she won't support their head.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's almost like whiplash. I mean, if they're not supporting their
If
kids.
they're like this, yeah, like, and then she's just like holding them on the outer side, and how she holds them sometimes. And then Ben, when you also too, here's the thing, when you would have to change his diaper, he's like literally you would have to like carry and support his head because he throws his head back he was doing that quite a bit this week. In the beginning, he was just like didn't even want anything to do. He was just like this. He didn't like it when we picked him up. Change his diaper.
Who changed his diaper?
I did.
The entire day.
Throughout the entire day, I changed him in the afternoon. I believe I changed him in the second before that last time, and that was it.
Prior to Nancy leaving to sanitize the place, you said about an hour prior to that she was alone with the kids for a little bit.
Because I went to use the bathroom, but that was when all the kids were still in seating and
Right.
snack.
Besides for that, did you step out of the room at all?
No, not even.
So you want to talk to your sister?
No.
Did your sister come in throughout the day?
She was in and out through the day. Yes, she was.
Did anyone ever report the way Nancy ever handled the kids there, or?
No, I thought they already talked to her, to tell you the truth, because I wasn't there that long. I haven't been there
Who
that
do you
long.
think talked to her?
Probably Sandy.
Why?
I just had a curiosity that Sandy would have talking to, or someone like Wendy would have talking to her, or someone else that would talking to her already.
Talk to her and say that's how you handle the kids.
Just to I know you're frustrated sometimes, but
why would you say Wendy? Is she like?
Names like Wendy and Sandy surfaced as links in oversight. At the Lincolnshire daycare, mandatory reporting was the legal safeguard. One lapse, one silence, could shift into guilt before both law and parents.
The type of person who would say something to her?
No, it's her classroom. So, if...
Does Sandy help her too? Or
yeah, she comes in at 9 and she starts breaks around like 9:10. That 9:10.
Has Wendy ever said anything to you?
No.
She hasn't?
No.
I mean, when I started, I'm sure when my partner started, as police work, other people that have been doing the job for a while, they'll tell you, don't do stuff this way, do it that way.
They were telling me to help out. She was telling me sometimes help out, and then for art or if they eat and stuff like that, she would explain. She's like, we don't do it this way. Yeah, she said that, but nothing else other than that. No.
Melissa, just this whole time thing and this injury to his head, it was when you were alone with him. I mean, I don't know how you could convince us that he did.
He was sitting, yeah. He was sitting. There was nothing around him or anywhere possibly that he could have hit his head. I'm clueless. I don't know.
I mean, could he have dropped out from a changing table when you're changing his diaper and you're afraid to tell us?
No, I would never do that. I am not going to be afraid to tell you. If I dropped somebody from the change table, I would be stoked and crying, freaking out, but I would go and tell.
But sometimes people make a mistake. And they don't want to tell somebody because this economy sucks. They don't want to lose their job and say, hey, listen, I just dropped a kid. So then they're going to put that in your record. You're getting in trouble. You might be afraid. You might be like, well, kids fall all the time. He might be okay. And then this happens. We could understand that happening. Because you're afraid to tell someone at that time, you don't want to lose your job.
The only thing I kind of feel guilt a little bit about is that I wish I could have done a little bit more and help out more because of the fact my sister was doing everything, because I literally felt guilty because I wasn't doing anything. I just made a call and I was just
that's how
that's
sometimes the most important thing you could do is to summon more advanced medical personnel. That's the most important thing, number one. That's how we're trained too. The most important thing you could do is get on the phone so more people come that know more than we do. So you did do something to help them. But we don't want you to be afraid to tell us because...
They spoke of recession, the fear of losing a job, then normalized accidents. This tactic forced Melissa into a dilemma. Stay silent to protect herself or admit a mistake to ease her conscience.
You were afraid you were going to lose your job and you thought it would be okay because you see kids fall every day. You probably see a kid fall every day, literally, fall down. We don't want you to be afraid to tell us that because at the end of this investigation, we're going to have so many people working on so many specials. We're going to know exactly probably what caused the injury. Okay. Right now, we got a team. They're probably closed down the nursery by now. I don't know if you're probably not aware of that. They're probably closed down by now, but we got a team of evidence technicians.
Okay.
And they're
crime scene investigators, CSI.
They're sketching the room, the floors, and at the end of this, might be not today or tomorrow, they're going to know exactly what caused this injury to his head. I mean, because there's certain things that could cause a certain injury.
Yeah.
We actually have very good photographs of his injury.
Okay.
And even though it's
in the back of the head or in the front of the head?
That's what he has.
I'm just kind of curious. Maybe I could rethink, and maybe see if it was from the back of the head. Maybe he, when Crystal probably, when she was doing CPR, when she picked him up and put him on the change table, maybe he hit his head really good because it bounced up a little bit. Maybe that could have been the reason when she put him down. You know what I mean? So, for his head to kind of bounce a little bit, but, she didn't bounce him, hard. When she put him down, she was doing the CPR. I made sure I had the kids stand back. And I got all the kids out of the way. Because I was saying earlier, I had the kids in the kitchen. So, maybe, that's what could have happened when she was performing
CPR. Did you see his head bounce?
A little, yes, I did.
She was only trying to help him.
Yes, she was trying to help him.
Oh,
and then underneath it though was hard.
But he would have hit his head on the mat, right?
Yeah, but it was the mat was kind of hard.
This injury.
That's the only thing though. I'm thinking.
Is there any way that an accident might have happened and you were afraid to tell someone that you thought everything would be okay?
Yeah, no accidents whatsoever. I never. Yeah.
What about him hitting his head and you're not paying that much attention to it and then being re-aggravated on that changing table? Could that have happened?
That could have. With him hitting his head, yes.
The timeline tightened. 45 minutes before Ben slipped unconscious, the room held only Melissa and Nancy. That narrowing logic weighed like a written report, no malice required. One slip could define criminal liability.
But I made sure the clear way when I would pick him up, because when I changed him from a nap, he wasn't acting like that. He was fine. He let me change his diaper and everything. But when I placed him, and when I placed even every kid now in my room, I hold their head and I gently put them on the changing table so that they wouldn't hit anything. And I made sure of that. But when he would seriously do this, and then he would try to put him down, sometimes he would hit his head on the changing table, on the mat though. And he would whine and cry because he didn't want to get his diaper changed. So
it's safe to say 45 minutes before he started losing consciousness, the only people in this room were you and Nancy.
Yes.
So if someone did this to him, it would be safe to say that the only people that could have done something to him would be either you or Nancy. Is that if it happened within 45 minutes of this?
I agree, but I don't even know what I could have done to make him hit his head.
You would, like I said, this is a substantial injury. If he hit his head to cause this injury, you would know.
I would.
You would know. But not saying you meant it to happen, but you would know. Because I know you're very careful and everything, but I'm very careful with my son, and I'm paranoid because of all the shit that we go through and we deal with. But I mean, I've hit my son's head, to tell you the truth, on a door frame while carrying him through. I mean, it happened. It was an accident. I didn't mean. I thought.
Oh, and he's done that too.
But there's stuff I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's hard to believe that there's never any accidents. Or I'm almost worried when he's on the changing table because they flay around so much and they go crazy. And I'm afraid sometimes when I get his clothes, sometimes I have to put them down on the floor because I know they'll jump right off it in 1 second. They're so quick, babies. When I put him down, he turns on his stomach, I swear to God, in 2 seconds. And he thinks it's a joke. He thinks it's a game. So it's hard for me to believe that there's never no accidents because I'm only watching one. And you love these kids. I know you do. But when it's your own kid, you'll see someday you're really, 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 there's even more love for the child.
Logs of minor bumps were seen as a burden, yet fatigue fed those blind spots. Detectives planted possibilities, a fall, a bump, a head striking. Then they appealed to compassion, urging her to say the hardest words.
And when that stuff happens to me, even with one kid, I can't imagine how someone could take care of 8 kids and there not be mishaps. I mean, it just has to happen.
Yeah, if I had seen any accident, I do report it. I do. I see something. I let them know. And I even asked.
You ever reported an accident before?
Not there, no. Because I've never.
You've been there for a year, 2 months?
I've been at the other place.
I mean for this company.
For this company, yeah. I've reported accidents.
Like what type of accidents?
Bumps on the head.
Like from what?
What do you mean?
Like, did they fall about?
Yeah, when they fall or they clench together and there would be a mark literally on their heads. And I would report it. I get an accident report and I fill it out. And then when I'm done filling it out, I sign it, I give it to my boss. They look over it and then they sign it, and then we have to have a parent signature. I've done that a lot.
Sometimes when places make people do all that stuff, it's a great system, but it's a pain in the butt. Because you're like, shit, he just hit his head, he'll be fine. This kid hits his head every day. I want to be filling out reports. I'm the only one in here. I got to watch these kids. So you continue to watch them thinking everything will be fine.
I check too for bumps and everything. I feel their foreheads to make sure and everything.
Well, I mean, this was real parents, these marks that he had. I mean, but I really, Melissa, I need you to.
I know.
I'm like, if like you were like a family member, I would like want to scream and say, Melissa, if you're involved in any way, please let these guys know. I would like to tell you that we're not here to hurt you, especially if it was an accident. We're not. A lot of people are afraid of the police. There's no need to be afraid of us.
I know.
We're here to get to the bottom of this. If it was your child, we would do the same thing. We're not trying to hurt you here.
I know.
We don't think you intentionally would hurt this kid. I swear, I don't think that.
In the frigid room, every denial from Melissa was twisted into suspicion. Detectives planted the image of a small accident, slowly breaking down the wall of defense she tried to hold.
I wouldn't.
But I do think an accident happened.
I agree.
And we need to know.
That's what I want to know though, because every time I have held him, he's been safe. He was head resting on my shoulder or in my arms sometimes, and then we'll walk around, he'll dance with me, we'll, do dancing. But I have never in my life that I've been there, even ever, would seriously do that to him. Because I even know for a fact too, that toddlers at his age, they are sensitive. They still have growing skulls. Their heads are still sensitive, just like really baby ones, small, tiny ones. And I understand that their heads are sensitive. But I would never.
We're not saying intentional.
I know. I'm
just saying if it was an accident,
I would say something.
I can understand why someone wouldn't. There's stuff that we're supposed to do. Like at work, and it's a lot of protocol, and sometimes, if you hurt yourself, you're supposed to fill out all these forms, and you got to go to an accident review board, and it's just like, man, I don't want to deal with all this BS. I'll be fine. I don't want to say anything. So I understand how that goes, but I want you to understand that after today, we might have to talk to you about a couple of things, but after today, it's going to be really hard for you to say, you know what, I was thinking, and I dropped him, and I forgot about it. It doesn't seem like an accident then. But if you told us today, listen, detectives, I was changing him. He was going crazy. He fell out of the changing table. He seemed fine, so I didn't say nothing. There was no one else in the room, and I couldn't leave. I monitored him. He seemed fine. All of a sudden, I seen him shut his eyes. I decided that at that time, I've got to get help, that he wasn't fine. If that's the case, please tell us. Please don't help yourself.
I am telling you the truth. I did not drop him. Anything, nothing serious.
Did you hit him in the head?
No.
Did you do anything to contribute to any of these marks on his head?
No.
Nothing?
I swear, nothing.
Okay.
So when you say nothing serious, what do you define as serious?
That I would never put my hands on him. I don't even recall putting or hitting him. Even if he was crying or whining so bad, I get a little frustrated, because he's screaming, but I would deal with it. I would be like, it's understandable, but I wouldn't pick him up any other type of way.
Melissa, you said you don't recall. I mean, it's a lot different than
Yeah, I know. I don't pick up objects. I don't want to throw them.
But you just said you don't recall.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to explain. It's hard for me to explain.
That means that there's a possibility that
I did not, but I'm telling you right now, though, I did not pick up anything. I did not pick up anything. I would never, ever.
What do you mean pick up anything?
I wouldn't pick up anything that hit a child. It's not my child.
I never said you did pick up anything from a child.
I didn't, though.
They offered an imagined lifeline. Confessing would bring relief, maybe even leniency. In truth, it was a psychological trap, making Melissa believe she could regain control only by admitting fault.
I didn't.
Why would somebody say that?
You know what? I don't know. I don't pick up things. I make sure the kids are safe. I make sure they're taken care of, changed, healthy, as long as they're, they're well taken care of.
Well, so somebody picked something up and hit them in the head with it?
No, I did not see anything. The kids, they have like a plastic bat, a little kid. He hits like things, that's it.
Could someone have hit him in the head with the plastic bat?
The children have it.
But would a worker?
No.
A kid? Did you lose your patience and hit him?
No.
Sure.
Yeah. Positive.
Because if you did, it's understandable.
No, I know.
It's very freaking stressful dealing with one baby. I know. I never knew it till I had my own because I never watched babies in my life. But it fucking makes you lose your mind.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the best words. I'm not trying to not be professional. You can lose your mind sometimes because they go screaming. You're trying to get other stuff done, and that's only one. So I can understand if someone all of a sudden they lose their mind for a second and they hit a kid. I totally understand why someone would do that.
Yeah.
We've had incidents where people just flat out black out. And the next thing you know, because they get aggravated, they get frustrated. We had a lot of that with husbands and wives, domestic arguments. Parents with their children, and they'll just flat out sit there and say, I just blacked out. And then, I finally realized what happened. I composed myself and then just went out from there.
No, never blacked out.
Did you ever hit a kid there?
No.
No?
No.
What are the other workers? Are they ever going to say you hit someone?
No, they would never say that.
Why?
They've worked with me. I've never put a hand on them.
Did you ever scream at a child?
I would be like, no, not nice, that's it.
Did you ever scream?
Scream, yeah. But not like scream, like violently scream. I'd be like, no, not nice,
Right.
That's it.
Do you scream because you're losing patience?
Sometimes, yes. But if it gets out of control, when it gets out of control, yeah.
Everyday stories of stress and parenting were slipped in, like confessions spoken for her. Their framing of frustration and accidental harm made Melissa feel aligned with the scenario they were painting.
I will say, no, not nice. And, I get a little, that little madness, but it's to a point where, I'm telling myself, calm down, They're kids, they're babies, they'll cry all the time, it happens. And
in this situation too, a good thing that was pointed out is how we think like maybe the person who did this didn't intend for the kid to get hurt. Boy, they didn't may strike him in the head or hit him in the head with anything. It could have been as easy something saying no and like pointing it at him and actually like hitting his chest and him falling back and hitting his head on the wall.
Yeah.
If you take an incident that was not intentional and it escalated into something, worse, you're not a doctor, you don't have a crystal ball in your hand to predict what could happen.
Okay.
Right? And now all of a sudden, we have no, but we're saying yes, there's a medical factor. Something did happen. Okay. And you're very smart. Let me tell you, I'm going to compliment you because you brought up a couple of points in our conversation, of points I've given you about skulls and kids, you know, things like that. And that's great. But don't base your story on things I'm telling you. I'm trying to be honest and factual with you.
Okay.
Okay. I'm laying things out here. I'm not bringing props in here and laying things down and saying, you know, we've got fingerprints and we've got that. You know, I'm being completely honest with you. We find out, because we do this all the time, that lying to a person on our end doesn't achieve anything. Because if we get caught in a lie, our credibility is crap. You're not going to believe a thing I say as soon as you catch me in a lie, right? You got to look at it from our perspective. That's the way we feel about you. It's all about credibility and all about honesty.
Okay.
You know, it's like God forgives, we don't. Because once you've told a lie or continue to escalate that, it's worse and worse and worse and worse. And then at some point, when this all comes to fruition, and it will, it's either going to be through you, if it's through somebody else, and it will, by day's end, it will be. It would preferably be you who tells us exactly what happened and put yourself in a positive light. Don't let somebody else railroad you down the river. Don't let these exigent facts paint you into a corner. We believe that something happened. We just want to, you know, the problem with child victims is your children.
Science, evidence, forensics all laid out, but only as a backdrop for pressure. Detectives pressed. Silence would hurt her more, while admitting the truth could open a door to escape.
They can't tell us.
Because they can't speak.
They can't. And now in this case, forever. Okay? But then we have to rely on everything else. We have to rely on science. That talks to us. Okay? But that only gives a portion of the fact and the truth. Science can't tell us human emotion. Science can't tell us luck. Or probability or chances or bad luck or accidents. Science can't tell us all that to exact details. Only the person who was involved in that can tell us that. And that's why we're really sitting here frustrated a little bit, because I hope you understand we're trying to give you every single opportunity there is. Every single opportunity there is to talk to us and clear the air on this thing and just put it to rest. So we can get on the phone, we can call our bosses in Lincolnshire and say, okay, Melissa's been straightforward with us. This is exactly what happened. Here's the timeline. We are convinced that this is what happened during this timeline, and we're done here. That's all we're asking. You know, if there was an injury that occurred, and by the time your sister, who, I'm telling you, in good faith, ran in there, and try to give CPR. Bad people don't do that. They don't care. They walk away. They run away from that. They don't want anything to do with that, right? Bad people don't have a conscience. You know what I mean? The word sociopath or psychopath, it's one and the same. Those are people who have no emotions. They operate physically and mentally every day like normal people. You couldn't tell them but inside they're dead. They have no feelings at all. You could not get away with that working in that environment. That's not you. You've got emotions. I saw your emotions here. You got upset. You have a conscience, right? You can express love. You can express hate. I'm sure you've got a love relationship with your boyfriend, your family. You probably love your sister. I think she got really worried and concerned about you leaving today. She loves you, okay? You have a lot of people supporting you, and you have a whole life ahead of you. How old are you? 21?
22.
22.
They probed her youth, her future, her family, insisting Melissa was a caregiver, not violent. This contrast struck deep, stirring guilt at the thought of continuing to deny what they sought.
Do you need to carry a burden like this for the next 60 years or whatever? Nobody does. And you know what? It's this type of thing that eats you up, and it's this type of thing that no matter what haunts your reputation, because there's always a question mark. There's always that question mark hanging over you. You know, we've experienced it in our line of work. If somebody accuses us of taking a bribe, even though I know I didn't do it, it's the fact that it's out there. You know, and you want to shout it at the world and say, look, here are the facts. This is not this is what happened. I want to be clear. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to the investigators. I'm sure Sean, and again, I don't know if he's been involved in internal investigations where they accuse you as a police officer of doing anything from stealing to inappropriate behavior with, with a person, use for whatever. It's not a good feeling. It's completely contrary to what we are as people. This has got to not be a good feeling for you, because it's got to be completely contrary to who you are and what you're all about. By even working in this place, it says a lot for your personal character that you're a caregiver. You're a caregiver. You're not a violent person. You're a caregiver. You take care of these children. Yeah, is it gonna be a perfect world every day you go in? Oh, they're kids. They aggravate the hell out of their own parents. They'll tell you. I'll tell you. I got teenagers. It doesn't get any easier. You could be a caregiver for teenagers, and believe me, you think you get aggravated now. Well, you're not too far away removed from that to remember how you probably were with your parents. You thought you knew it all, right? Okay. I'm going to tell you, being the senior citizen, you don't know it all, and you don't want to carry a heavy burden on you. You don't. You don't want the perception of people thinking that you're manipulative and you're a liar and you have no credibility. And I know you're not. I just think you're worried. I just think you're really deep down inside worried and you're scared. You are. You cannot be scared. You can't be. You're scared. I would be too. You would probably, if you weren't laying awake or rolling around or just thinking about this whole thing for the last couple of days, you're not human. If you went home and you went right to sleep and got up and felt like nothing has happened, you're not human. But I know that's not you. It's got to be bothering you. So when I ask you if you talk to other people in it, it's not because I'm trying to catch you in a lie or whatever. It's because I know you have to express it somehow. Some people have different ways of doing that. Some people internalize. If I get mad at somebody, I don't talk to them. They just know. They can feel it off of me. Other people, they externalize. They go off on you. They really tell you how it is. It all depends on how you handle it. But an incident like this.
In the final stretch, empathy peaked. Detectives described her restlessness like endless sleepless nights, like waking from a nightmare. They forced her to face it, confess, or be consumed by the torment.
You're desensitizing yourself a little bit now because you're almost thinking in your mind, God, this really didn't happen. This is not happening. You know what? It's like waking up, and I don't know if you drink or whatever, but it's like waking up from a 4-day drunk at some point. It just hits you like a ton. Oh my God. And then for you to come back to us in 3, 4 days, whatever, it's just not going to work, because at that point now, we're not going to believe anything that you say. That's why we're asking. That's why we went there this morning. That's why we got you this morning. We took everybody. We want to clear the air, and we want to know now, because now it's credible. In a few days, it's not going to be credible.
Okay. To be honest, I had yelled, said not nice, but he was sitting up, and he just drops, and I heard him hit his head.
Where?
On the carpet, though. But
on the carpet or the tile?
On the carpet.
Was it Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay.
A couple of times he's done that when we say, no, not nice. And he will get upset. He was sitting straight up and he would fall. He would seriously fall completely and hit his head.
And what, did he get upset after he hit his head?
Yeah.
He started crying?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember what time he hit his head?
No, I don't.
Kind of approximate, maybe?
Yeah.
Was it?
Probably sometime in the afternoon before. Ahead of time before they had snack, maybe.
Okay.
Because he's.
And what was it? I know you were saying that you guys had reading and you have playtime. What event was it during?
There was nothing going on. It was just playtime.
Okay.
Because when he got up from that, I saw him. He was awake. Picked him up. I was on the recliner, the rocking chair.
Right.
Just hang out with him, and we were being silly or whatever. And later out throughout the day, he did something to a point probably where we would say no, not nice, and he took it very, very hard.
Did you say would that be you and Nancy or just you?
Well, Gwendy was in there too.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was after Nia.
So what was he sitting on the floor?
He was
or,
sitting on the floor.
you know, and can you, I mean, how fast or hard did he fall back?
Like boom, like really fast. Like he would, like how he would throw himself. Like, you know.
He threw himself backwards.
Threw himself backwards really hard.
And did he start screaming or crying?
Yes.
He did.
He did.
Okay.
Who was in the room?
Me and Wendy.
Okay. How did you guys calm him down? Did he calm himself down, or
He calmed down, but then we put him in the little chair where he usually goes.
so you just picked him up and put him in that chair?
Yeah, we picked him up, and then we were like, you know, you're okay, and he stopped crying once we picked him up, though, and then we put him in the chair.
And then what did he do in the chair?
He was fine. After that, he was just sitting there. He was playing or just moving around, whatever. Had his eyes open and everything.
Can I ask you, why didn't you just tell us it to begin with?
I wasn't thinking straight because like I said, I am nervous. I've never been in a situation like this, so it's very hard.
She admitted a fall on the carpet, then staggered through fragmented memories. Winter in Lincolnshire, fragile toddlers, and thick reporting protocols, an invisible legal net waiting for even the smallest lapse.
It's not intentional. You know, it's not. It just happens, you know. People just snap.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it come to that point where they boil over and it happens. We've got this narrowed down to a very, very tight time frame. And there's only one thing here is that something happened where you got frustrated, aggravated, whatever. And I'm telling you, it was not intentional. It was an accident. But it wasn't him looking backwards. It wasn't. You know that. We know that. The forensic scientists are telling us that. Wendy tells us that. What you told us. Okay? You need to clear the air here and tell us. You really do. And we're even sitting here thinking about it. You can't manipulate out of this. You really can't. You just need to come forward and tell us. You really do. Something frustrated you. Something happened. Okay? I know you didn't know the extent of Ben's injury. I know you didn't. And it's been eating it up these last few days. I know it has. I mean, you can tell it in your eyes. And you're going like this today. Right? One minute you're feeling like, I'm done with this. And, you know, we just come back here and we say, look, you're not. You're not, because this is what we found out. This is fact. Okay? You really need to just tell me the truth. Please, no denial.
I know, I'm not. Like I said, that's the only thing I could possibly think of. I never took any frustration out on any of my kids. Ever. I never laid a finger on them.
We're not saying.
I know.
Well, listen, we're not saying. We're not saying. We're saying that perhaps you put him in a chair a little too hard. I mean, he was struck, whatever. He might have hit his head on something. What you're describing to us did not happen. Mathematically, it couldn't have happened, and physics-wise, it couldn't have happened. Something else happened.
We're thinking like something happened and doing it normally, everything would be fine. Like
Pressure climbed. They redrew impact paths, staged chairs and tables, probed head position. Every accident scenario was offered like a lifeline, pulling Melissa closer to the shoreline of confession.
if George was a baby and I put him in a chair, he'd go in the chair, he'd go to sleep. But maybe on this instance, maybe the chair rocks back. There was a wall behind the chair. It rocked back, he tumbled back and hit his head on the ground. There was something that happened. And we know.
Where he was sitting and where I placed him, it was kind of by the changing table in the garbage can. And when I was taking him out, I probably like stand behind him on his side, grab him, and he probably in his head and back of the changing table or feet. The bike, the changing table. It's the only thing I can think of right now. It's that people how it changed it.
You would know if you just had this injury was like my partner said, like someone getting dropped off a second story. The baby would have started to cry. It would have happened right when this whole thing went down. It would have happened right before report, I think, you would have known, you know exactly what you need to put. You're making yourself look real bad. We're trying to think that you didn't intend on this injury to happen. You didn't intend on this to happen. But for whatever reason, it did happen. Okay? We need to know, and we need you to tell us. You need to be honest to help yourself out there. You should be honest with us. What are you most afraid of? Just tell me about this whole situation.
That
Be honest.
it could be my fault.
Okay.
I just don't know how.
Okay, but what are you
My
most
fault.
afraid of if it is your fault?
Everyone will find.
Who?
Their coworkers.
Co-workers? Why?
I don't know.
You think that they never made a mistake in their life?
I just haven't got feeling it. Like it should be my fault. Everything I got. They're a piece of paper. I just felt like, what did I do wrong? And I've been trying to think through, truly. That's why I've been able to sleep much. I'm trying to think, what did I do? Or what did we have to do?
Right. What are you most afraid of if you did something that your co-workers were talking to you?
And then I would probably get a fine or go to jail or something.
Well,
I don't
Melissa,
know.
if you didn't, our goal is if you didn't intend on causing pain for somebody, we wouldn't want you to go to jail.
Wait days, and no one will believe, they warned. Investigative authority and forensics were wielded like a ceiling hammer. Melissa trembled between fear of lost credibility and a craving for release.
It's like that whole accident theory. If it was a complete accident, even if it was something out of frustration, and maybe you put him in a chair too hard and the chair flipped over, we need to know what we need to know now. You're worried about your co-workers? Give me a fucking break. This kid's dead. Find your co-workers, okay? I mean,
And your family's always going to be there.
always.
They're not going to think anything less of because they know you as an individual. They know you as a person. You're fucking, you know, how about this? If they're thinking, if you don't clarify this, then what the fuck do you think your co-workers are going to be thinking this whole time anyways? But if you bring this out, we know. There's no doubt about it. It was an accident. And tell me that they can have a erring judgment. Come on.
That should be the last thing that you're worried
Absolutely.
about. That's the last thing you should worry about. Everything else, like I said, if stuff was an accident or you didn't intend for Ben to get hurt severely, we don't think you did. We thought maybe you got frustrated. Maybe something happened, you dropped. We don't know exactly what, but we know it happened within minutes from the time he was unresponsible. We know you were the only one in the room. And we know it's something he can't cause by himself. So, Melissa, when this is all said and done, we have to clear this with the state's attorney to say what our opinion is and what happened here. And they're going to ask us, well, is this a person who's sorry for what they did? Is this a person who was cooperative with you? All this stuff's going to come to fact, and we're going to be able to say at the end of this, Melissa was very cooperative with us. She talked to us and she told us the truth. By her telling us the truth, we're able to get some resolution to this case and some closure to the family. We'll go tell the people at your work that this guy, but whatever you want us to tell, that's the least of your concerns right now. But we know for a fact this happened moments from now on. They'll tell us the truth, and everything will be okay. So that's fine.
It's fine.
We
know
understand that you're scared, and we were not lying to you here. We need to know the truth. It's going to help us, okay, Melissa? And promise me one thing, that you won't lie again, and I promise you.
Caregiver versus violent struck her conscience. They invoked family, future, and honor, turning silence into a moral burden that only a single admission of responsibility could lift.
We're gonna make things as easy as possible on you, as long as you don't lie to us, okay? Did you drop the baby? Did you slam him on the chair? You slipped? Why were you afraid to tell us you slipped? Did you slam him on the chair? You sure? You wouldn't do that? You just slipped? In the back of his head, hit the back of the chair? Why would he have some fruit? Did he hit the ground after that? Or What happened after you hit the chair?
He-
No, on his body, so he fell out of your hands?
When I put him down, I took him out of the snack chair, and then I went to clean him up, and then when I come back, the other chair is behind me. And I wasn't paying attention, he slipped out of my hands, and I had, he hit it.
How far did you slip?
Like, a little bit like what he said.
Don't exaggerate it to make it sound better. It's an accident. It's an accident. You gotta tell us
Right.
exactly. We're gonna have to be able to prove.
What you're telling us. Scientific, what it's all just. So you need to really be specific about how it slipped, how far down.
It
So
wasn't that far to a point where it slipped, like he fell off balance, and then he hit on the floor.
What did he hit his head on?
Where?
The chair? A back of the chair? And after he hit his head, did he fall onto the floor?
He fell, but he went to the crown.
So he hit his head and then fell to the ground. And how were you standing up when this happened? Were you standing straight up?
I was button. I like go and it slipped.
Yeah. He slipped on slipped?
Yeah. And then I did like
And how long was the back of the chair?
it was like this tall, and when his head like looked back, it was back.
if I show you a picture of the chair, will you recognize it?
The winning people.
The one, wooden table that you hit us out?
He hit his head on a wooden
Table
table.
or a chair?
The chair.
Which one was it?
The chair.
Did you? I don't know. Did you change? Did you change him prior to that?
No.
You did it.
I changed it before.
What did you put him in the chair for?
I did the snack.
You was sitting at the snack table, right?
Yeah. Regular
You
chair.
took him out of the snack.
When he was done, I took him out, washed him off, and everything else, and when I put him down, that's when I slipped, and it was right there between the tile. And
Did you
the carpet.
slip, or did he slip out of your hand? Did you actually fall down with him?
I
The story ended with two roads: confess an accident or carry a lifelong question mark. Under the white lights, Melissa understood. Truth can't repair the past, but it might keep the future from rotting.